How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Nerdy Basement Podcast, your home for all things comics, TV, film, anime, gaming, and pop culture. I'm your host, Ozzy, as always, and joining me is my co-host.
It's your boy Boozer.
And today we are diving into Chainsaw Man, the Reze Arc, the new anime film that dropped this past weekend in theaters, buzzing his way to the top of the box office. We're going to dive into the film's fight choreography, the tragic, heartbreaking storyline that we witnessed, the direction, and man, listen, the hair-raising soundtrack, bro. That soundtrack was... We're going to get into all that in today's episode. So grab your headphones, go grab a snack, join us in having a drink. Make sure to hit that like button. Most importantly, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you do not miss a podcast episode every single time that we drop one. We're going to dive right in. Boozer, man. The first question before we dive into spoilers. Chainsaw Man, the movie, Reze Arc, hit or miss, bro? Hit or miss?
Certified hit. Certified hit.
A banger, bro, of absolute banger, man. Listen, Chainsaw Man is revving his way to the top, sawing through the competition this past weekend, bro. It was going up against, I would say, 2-3 movies this past weekend, bro. Like big American-made movies. On top of that, Sony is just owning it this year. We are 2 for 2 on the anime feature films this year in the box office, man. Infinity Castle, massive hit. We covered that. Make sure you guys listen to that podcast episode, which is also one of our highest played episodes on the show now that we relaunched the podcast here on YouTube, which is great. So I want to give you guys a huge thanks for that. You guys have been showing a lot of love to those clips, to that podcast episode. So I really, really do appreciate that. We hope we get the same reception for this one as well. But yeah, man, 2 for 2, man. Chainsaw Man, Reze Arc, Infinity Castle. Sony is 2 for 2. We got Jujutsu Kaisen Execution dropping in December, which is another banger. Are they going to go 3 for 3 is the question here. I think they go 3 for 3. I think they go 3 for 3. But yeah, man, Chainsaw Man was number 1 at the box office this past weekend, earning over $108 million at the global box office, man. That is $3.4 million on Thursday. That's the day I saw it. So I contributed to that $3.4 million. So Friday, I think we both did. We both watched it Thursday, wasn't it? Did we not? Yeah, no, absolutely. We both contributed to that on Thursday. Friday, it hauled in $8.5 million. Saturday, $5.2. And then it dipped a little bit on Sunday. I'm assuming by this time a lot of people have seen it. So $3.5 million. But listen, man, you went up against Springsteen, Black Phone 2, Reminders of Him from Conley Hoover. Listen, man, those were three movies, 4 movies total one weekend, and to saw through all of them and be at the number 1, I think is massive for the anime community and the anime genre as a whole, as a medium, that art form, and it's completely taken over mainstream media. It's insane to watch it. It's crazy how back in the day, like you will go back 10 years ago, maybe less than 10 years ago, anime was not this mainstream, bro.
I wasn't going to the movies.
I would say not even.
I wasn't going to the movies to see an anime.
Bro, I can go back, I will say maybe 6 years ago, maybe, watching a lot of the My Hero Academia movies in theaters, like whenever they dropped those, and it was a pretty empty screening every single time I went. My Chainsaw Man screening was pretty packed to the brim on a Thursday night, bro, which is very, very telling. I would say my Infinity Castle viewing wasn't super packed compared to my Chainsaw Man one, but
see, I had the opposite.
At that point, I had already seen it.
My Demon Slayer was packed, but I had gone. I think it was like an 8:00 showing. My Chainsaw Man was not, but I went to like before dinner on a Thursday, so like people were still. Like, people were still in school and stuff like that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So there was like no one in that theater. I think there was like 4 other people. But it was like, I think I saw it at like 5 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, I saw it. I think I saw it pretty early. I think I went to see it like at 7:45. I haven't seen a movie that early, like on a preview night is what they call them, preview nights, which is insane. I would say since maybe Infinity War dropped or something like that. Yeah. So it's been a long time, but yeah, man, Chainsaw Man. A fair warning to everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it at this point, but we are gonna dive into spoilers. We're not gonna, comb over the movie and avoid spoilers. We're gonna go full blown spoilers because this is a relatively short
Yeah.
arc that's covered within an hour and 30, 35, 40 minutes. And it's pretty standalone. I think it's pretty welcoming. I also got to commend it for being pretty welcoming for newcomers to Chainsaw Man. I rewatched the first season just to get a refresher because she is introduced at the end credits of the final episode in season one. So it picks up immediately after that. So I felt I was with the intention of coming on the pod and telling people make sure you watch the first season. You don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to because it kind of picks up almost like it kind of gives you a rehash of those closing moments, especially with Denji's dream, and kind of gets you up to speed fairly quickly to her introduction. So, I mean, it's a pretty good gateway to
Yeah.
people. It's not like Infinity Castle, where people were going in without watching any of the Demon Slayer arcs or the first two seasons. And they're just like, yeah, I didn't feel like this didn't spoil anything for the anime.
The only thing I think
Sure, bro.
you don't need to watch the previous season to enjoy it, but I think it's just like watching the actual season, or if
I
you've
think it
read it at
helps though.
least, it just really soaks in, just like
Right.
the trauma and manipulation that has been through Denji's life, and then you see this happen, and you're
I
like,
agree. Hmm.
God, can one person be good in his life?
Yeah, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's the thing with this. Like, yeah, you don't have to, but like you said, it does add a little more
Hmm.
weight to and a little more impact to that
Yes,
betrayal,
because it's just
and
another one
essentially
on the list, you know.
it's just another one on the long list of people who just use them and
Yeah.
then throw them to the
And
wayside
in the movie,
once
he
they're
did say
done
he's
with him.
like,
You know what I
every
mean?
woman I meet wants to kill me.
Which is
So
true.
they do
But
hint at it. It's just that more
oh man,
emotional impact of like we of watching it happen.
right.
You know, it just
Hmm.
sells this a lot more.
No, absolutely. So for those who have not watched it or just interested in knowing what the Reze arc is about, it is essentially a tragic romance story which follows Reze, the bomb girl or the bomb devil. She's a hybrid, a Soviet experiment essentially. Looking to kill Denji and steal his heart, aka Pochita, the
The
chainsaw
best
devil.
boy.
Um, the best boy. Come on, the best boy. There's no doubt about that. The best boy, obviously, and steal him because the Soviets want him. They want to turn him into a mass weapon of destruction, essentially. So Denji and Reze essentially through all this happenstance, throughout her mission, essentially of luring him and softening him up so he can open up to her to steal his heart. They kind of end up bonding and falling in love with each other and things like that. And by the end of it all, unfortunately, she's, taken out by none other than Makima and the Angel Devil to prevent her from essentially running away with Denji, which is something they essentially agreed upon when he told her essentially let's meet at the cafe again, which was man, man, that
Yeah,
was
that was
hard.
hard.
That scene with Makima was hard, bro. I was like, my thing with that, the reason I like that scene so much, like it hurts, but I thoroughly enjoyed it because I was like, damn man, are we really gonna have one of those like endings where they like we go through all this and they're really gonna like let her like go like get away
Oh, we
unscathed?
all
You know
knew.
what I
Yeah, I
mean? It
mean,
was
come
like
on.
are we really gonna
No,
do that?
the
I was like,
moment.
it's gonna kind of suck if
I
they did
think the
that,
thing
but
that like, because obviously there's a lot of obviously she betrays him, and she tries to kill him, and she
right.
tries to say,
Hmm.
I didn't feel anything for you. It was all a lie. It was all a ruse, right? And like we know, like that's
Hmm.
sus, right? Like I think there was a little something there, right? And
Mm,
like you didn't have to give him
yeah.
swimming lessons. Like you didn't. You already had him like hook, line, and sinker like forever ago. It's Denji. You know what I mean?
No, I think that the dumb
Yeah,
bonding, like her teaching him about school, how to read, how to write, how to swim, all that was just like just
yeah.
adding to that
And
build
then
up.
the thing that really
But yeah,
sold it
man,
is like
continue.
obviously you're like, oh, she's not really gonna show up for him. Like we like it was all a ruse, right? She didn't really care. Either
Hmm.
way, she's getting out of Dodge. And then when she starts walking back, and then she starts running, and like they have a good sense of like panic. That's when I'm like, I know who's about to show up. I know I know someone's about to show up. But honestly, I didn't read this part yet, and so this was like completely new to me. I knew some spoilers, like I know the
Yeah,
betrayal
yeah.
and I know what her character is, the bomb devil. But I didn't know if it was going to be like the gun devil or Makima. I figured it was going to be one of the two. But I was like, someone's showing up to
Right.
stop. because Denji don't get a happy.
Yeah, man.
Denji don't get a happy ending at this point in time.
No, no,
So
no. He doesn't get a happy ending. No, not at all. It's not while
no,
Makima's around. That's guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Not while she's around. He is not getting that happy ending. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that was one of the things. That scene, her
You
running
could
to the
feel the
cafe.
panic.
Like one thing is just her. You know, she's kind of casually just walking, maybe
Yeah,
power walking a little bit. You know what I mean? She wants to get there, and then once she gets to the
she
alleyway,
books it.
and she starts run. I was like, oh, once I was like, I wonder where this is going. Because once again, I was like, are we really gonna go that route? Are we gonna go the route where is enemies to lovers, but she still kind of gets away, and he has to find her down the line type thing? Are we gonna do
Yeah.
that? Once I saw the rat, no, I knew it was a rat. Once I saw once I saw the rat,
Now, once
forget
I
the
saw
fact
her
that she was
booking
running.
it, I was like, nah, someone's coming to stop it.
Once I saw the rat, and I was like, and good thing for me, I went into this
Yeah, same
blind,
here.
not like in Infinity Castle. You know, I know a lot of the Infinity Castle arc. With this, I went in completely blind. All I have storyline plot wise was the first season, those first 12
All I knew was she
episodes.
was the bomb devil. That's it.
Um,
I knew she was the bomb devil. It's like, that's not a surprise.
yeah,
But that's all I knew.
exactly. So I mean, the build up to that is what really sold me on this movie, and really drove like that scene. Well, excuse me, that scene just drove. I just left like I was. Here's how it was. My heart was pumping because I was excited for what all the action that we saw, but then I'm just there like feeling like Denji a little bit. You know, you're stood up a little
Yeah.
bit. You're like, damn, no, that
Yeah, that
hurt.
hurt.
That
That hurt at
hurt,
the end.
man. That hurt. And then what made it even worse for me is the fact that Makima ordered not just the angel devil to come kill her, also ordered Aki to partake
Yeah.
in that, and he refused because she's a woman. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, my man Aki standing 10 toes on those morals. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I'm like, this is why this is my guy in this show. You know what I mean? And I did a little bit of deep diving to learn a little bit more about this arc and what it leads to. And man, just goes to show Aki is my guy, bro. Aki is my
Yeah.
guy. And that story for him is also tragic, which
I
is
mean,
crazy.
Chainsaw Man
I
is
wasn't
basically just
expecting.
tragedy in general. The whole
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
series.
but I wasn't expecting a lot of tragedy for at least with Aki. We got a lot of that in the season. We got his tragic backstory. We got Denji's, but it's like, damn, everybody's just fucked up. And just fucking everybody. And I guess that's a representation of the real
Yeah.
world, essentially. Like everybody's just fucked up. Everybody has their own tragic story, and we just need to be kind to people. I think that's what the big takeaway
The
of this.
Chainsaw Man universe is I say like just shy of grimdark. I think it's like just shy of grimdark. It's a pretty dark world to
Yeah,
live in
no,
if you look at it.
it's pretty insane. But yeah, man, the build up what made it great. Like I was telling my friend because I caught it before him, and I'm like, listen, man, it's gonna feel really slow at the beginning because it kind of takes his time to establish that relationship between Denji and Reze. You know what I mean? So, but I told him, man, once that betrayal
Oh,
happens,
it
bro,
kicks off.
the movie's a loose cannon, bro. It is legit. It's legit nonstop for like 40 minutes, and I'm just like, I need a breather. Even the downtimes in between those fights is like, bro, I need a breather. Like you need to chill a little bit.
Yeah, the animation was crazy. Like they didn't need to pop off like that.
Listen, I know Mappa likes to show off.
A little
You
bit.
know, we got Attack on Titan, we got Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man. The list goes on and on of the of Mappa's stellar and shit Vinland Saga
Oh,
season 2 just recently as well, brother. It's like all right, Mappa, but you ain't have to show off like this. All right, can we give the animators like 6 months of break after animating this movie? Cause god damn. Like, bro, the building
oh
fight
yeah.
alone, bro. The building fight alone. I was like, ain't no way. The choreography with that when they were once inside the building and just fighting each, it was it was like a graceful
Yeah,
dance,
it was
bro.
actually surprising to
That's the best
see
way to put
like
it.
actual like fighting among a bomb devil and a chainsaw. You know what I mean? Like it was interesting to see actual like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
she
yeah.
was throwing martial arts up in there. She was throwing boxing. She was
No,
throwing them
she was
fisticuffs.
throwing everything,
That
bro.
one scene where
She
she
was throwing everything
where
at
they
him.
kind of it was kind of like the My Hero scene where she just throws like a million punches and it's just like slowly like glowing
Right.
to getting ready
Mhm.
to explode for a beam. That was pretty wild. That was pretty wild. That was visually really
Oh,
impressive.
and the sound design for
Oh
her was
yeah,
great as well. Every time she said bomb, like, and she
hmm
snapped her finger or threw like some sort of like energy ball, I was like, damn, bro. Like, and then she was fast
yeah.
as fuck too.
Yo,
It was like, bro, the speed
Bomb
on
Devil
her.
was absolutely cracked. Like the fact that she was even defeated at some point is like crazy because not only being able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
use
yeah.
your like pretty much every portion of your body, I guess, and turn it into a bomb that you so you
Hmm.
can fly, you can accelerate extremely fast, then you can also shoot little bomb explosions and have them float towards people and not explode yet. Then you can literally just create I don't know, dynamite and stuff like that out of thin air. Like
Yeah, essentially.
absolutely cracked at ability to be a bomb devil.
She reminded me. So there was someone who was sitting, some dude who was sitting next to me while she was like flying around through the air, like using explosions to like propel herself and shit. And he's like, "Oh, she reminds me
I
of
was just gonna say, yeah,
Bakugo."
especially
And in
after
my
that
head,
last episode. If you're
and in
caught
my,
up on My Hero,
I'm not
oh
caught up, but I do know
yeah,
the
yeah. Let's
spoilers.
just
But yeah, I
say
know what you're
we get a
talking
nice
about.
showcasing of Bakugo's powers, and he was basically bomb deviling it up.
No, he
Yeah,
goes off. Let's just say he goes off. But yeah, a lot. But not to say that he's wrong by comparing him to Bakugo, but she was also heavily reminiscent of Shinra too from Fire
oh yeah,
Force.
for sure.
I was like, I was like, man, I was like, this is great,
She
man.
really
I'm
is a combo of
witnessing,
Shinra and Bakugo. Because, like, Shinra is using
yeah,
his feet as propulsion,
essentially
which she regularly used. But then she also has the ability to kind
what
of
she
just,
does.
like,
Yeah,
throw explosions, kind of like Bakugo with his sweat.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, and all that was great, man. The animation, even using, I felt it was a little weird, kind of forcing power out of the
Hmm.
picture for this specific arc. I can see why they did it. You know what I mean? But it was just, I feel like the approach was a little off for me. Um,
Is that how it is in
and
the
then seeing
manga?
her
Is
come
that,
back
like,
at the
accurate
end.
to the manga? Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's accurate to the manga. They take her out because she has too much blood and she needs a blood drawn and whatever. Because too much blood in her system amplifies the power. She can get out of control, etc., etc., etc. Just more Makima bullshit to
Yeah.
keep things under control. Essentially, that's the gist of it. If you really look at by the end of it, you're like, this is another
Man, I
Makima ploy
wonder,
at
man,
work.
I just want to know in an alternate world what that fight would have been like with, like, a souped up, powered up power and Denji fighting Bomb Devil. Like, I want to know what that fight looks like. With her
Oh,
doing all crazy kind of
oh,
blood stuff. Like I want to
we were
know
robbed.
what
We
that
were
world looks like.
robbed,
And like imagine her just going feral with her like four horns and like
bro. We were
just
robbed.
losing it.
We were robbed, man. We were robbed. I'm calling now. We were robbed of a Reze power fisticuffs.
Like just thinking of
Yo,
that would have been something.
nah, that would have been crazy. But yeah, man. I mean, a lot of the movie again is this is pretty much standalone. There's not much to really, at least in my opinion, to really dive into it. It is a great movie. Once again, the animation is
Yeah.
incredible. Mappa and Ufotable are just keeping the animators hostage. Those people have not seen the light of day for like 2 years,
And
probably,
you know what's
guaranteed.
actually really interesting for me is you've watched Don to Don, right?
I watched a couple of
Oh
episodes.
man.
I've not seen both seasons,
You have
but you
not watched
can
the
whatever
Silky
you're trying to
episode,
get
have
into right
you?
now. You can
All right. I'm not
no.
going to
What
spoil
episode
it.
is that?
It's like it's when they introduce the other female
Is
character.
season one or season two?
Season 1, right? I
Got
believe
it.
season 1. Yeah. My brain's mush right now. I believe it's season 1. But basically, I'm not going to spoil everything. But it's it's a very sad story
Yeah.
about a mother who's trying to provide for her child, and she's basically being forced into like prostitution essentially. And it's a really sad story in how she basically becomes a demon. I mean a yokai, and there's a scene that depicts kind of like that transition, like how she died, and it is like both beautiful and incredibly sad. It heavily focuses on her dancing and color, like purples and blues and the night sky. It's a very
Mhm.
visually compelling scene, like literally like moving. Like I don't often get moved when I watch anything. Like I enjoy it, but I don't get like emotionally invoked. And like that scene,
Right.
that
Yeah.
whole
Yeah. Yeah.
episode, but that scene had me emotionally invoked. And the pool scene was very reminiscent of that. And it did have me like invested in like Denji getting a glimpse of happiness. And I just was like surprised to see that because like
Yeah.
if in
Yeah.
the anime that
Hmm.
Chainsaw Man is, it's not something I was expecting to feel like a little bit of emotionally invoking of like sadness because I know where this is going, but also happiness because I'm like, man, my man's getting a little glimpse of happiness, and the music, just like in the Don 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 episode,
Yeah.
just
That's what I was.
paired
That's what
so
I was about to say.
beautifully with
Yeah.
the visuals and the water and the night sky and the rain.
Yeah,
Oh my god, everything was
the motifs, the
yes,
symbolism.
I loved it
I feel like that's probably the
for
standout
sure.
scene for me in the movie overall. Granted, we have a whole bunch of standout scenes in the movie.
Just like the scene where
But
they
yeah, that is
mimic
the
the color
scene.
of the manga cover with the
Yeah, yeah,
green
yeah, yeah,
and the
yeah.
yeah, that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. I
Right.
hope
Yeah,
they
yeah. No,
play with that more
that
in
was
the
great.
third second season or whatever they do next.
I can see them trying that, but I can also see
Yeah,
them not doing that for the anime season, but keeping that something exclusive to
yeah,
the movies if they decide to do another one. I don't know how short the rest of the other
yeah,
arcs
yeah.
are, but at least I'm personally loving the trend of animating short manga arcs into feature
Yes,
films. I
yeah.
think
Especially if
that
it's
new
like a very
trend.
compelling one. Yeah, I think if it's a very short arc,
Yeah, yeah.
instead of make and like also like I don't know if that was split up episodically, how much I would have enjoyed it if I would have enjoyed it as much than seeing it in one. You know what I mean?
I can.
If I saw that split up
Yeah, I
over
don't
like
think.
3, 4, 5 episodes,
I think it would
and
have
then
went
whatever
three
happens
to
after,
four
and then
episodes
like
max.
whatever next arc
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I don't know if I would have enjoyed it exactly that as much as I did.
It probably would. It probably would have worked the same, or been as emotionally
Yeah,
impactful as it was watching it play out nonstop in the
and
feature film. So
yeah, I don't think we would have gotten the same. So I'm happy they did that, even though it's a short arc.
no, no, yeah, but yeah, back to that pool scene, man. That pool scene is everything. I think that's the emotional crux
Oh
of the
yeah,
movie as a whole, and it's very telling, and it cements Denji's struggle throughout the story. You know what I mean? And that's like, and again, what makes it so emotionally and moving and invokes such emotion is because this is a character. This is a young man who's been on his own since he was very young. Since he was a little kid. His parents died while he was very, very young, on his own, starving, paying off his parents' debt just so he can get by with his pet
selling
demon dog,
organs, you know.
a devil dog. Donating organs, donated his testicle, you know what I mean, just to get by, and then to meet his end, because he was
Yeah,
betrayed, to
yet
be
again.
saved, thinking he found someone who saw worth in him, you know what I mean, beyond being a puppet of some sort, to be betrayed yet again. And then you're here for the third time, finding someone he genuinely, this is a genuine connection. Yeah, he's obsessed with
Hmm.
Makima and wants her approval, but this
And
is
that's also
someone
very much like
who.
saviorism, like
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly, exactly. That's exactly what that falls into. That's exactly what it is. But with Reze, that is a genuine
yeah.
connection that he forms for the very first time. You know what I mean? This is a very different connection that he forms from the one he forms with
Hmm.
Power. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's more of like a sibling
Yeah.
rivalry type of relationship. That's not a romantic one. So this is everything for him. So seeing that and you see how much joy that brings him to then be betrayed is like fuck,
And
man.
even in the end, he
It's
was
like my
like,
boy cannot.
fuck it, let's meet at the cafe again.
Fuck
Like,
it.
and she even said,
Yo,
like, I did not care
despite
about you.
all
And he's
that,
like, I'm going to the cafe. I'm
fine.
going to the cafe.
I'm going
I'll
to
be
the
there
cafe. I'll meet you there.
with
And
flowers.
I think I would like to, yeah, with flowers. I feel like the only reason he even offered that to meet her there is because he saw past the
Yes.
facade.
Yeah. I agree.
He saw past the facade for sure. Otherwise, he's very conscious of, to some degree, of those around him, and kind of he's not as dumb as people may think
He's a
he is. You know
dummy,
what I
but even
mean?
a dummy can see some things. You know what I mean?
No,
I
no,
mean, my
yeah,
man
yeah,
was
no. Even
literally
a dummy
never
can
went
see
to
some
school and was
things.
bred to kill devils since he was a child. My man's
Exactly.
he is a little bit of a dummy,
and
but
and then the revelation, yeah, yeah, the revelation from her
yeah,
too. I've
that
never been to
was.
school too, bro.
And again, it further like
Yo,
solidifies like she genuinely like let her guard down and built a connection. Yeah,
no, and that was the conflict. You know, that was the conflict. That's what makes it so riveting, so gripping. You know, it's like damn, it's like she really did. She followed the
hmm
mission, but she got caught up still. You know
yeah.
what I mean? She got caught up still. It's man, it's a solid movie. It's a solid movie, man. From start to finish, it's a solid movie. Pacing is great, animation is great, soundtrack is amazing. The fight choreography, the
It
fights
was very
themselves, like
engaging.
it's
Like there was a couple times where like they
all
pulled
of
the
it.
a lot's happening on screen, but 90% of the time I was able to follow it really well.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say, yeah. This, despite a lot of the vibrant
hmm
colors and shit that they were throwing on screen, I was still able to make out the fights. Nothing was lost in translation with the over animating and the color
Yeah.
works of whatever they were trying to pull off to make it all fancy and whatnot. But
I also just realized
excuse me. But
I
yeah, I
just
think
realized we got a Chainsaw Man Sharknado.
honestly, that's
We got
exactly
that.
what we got. I didn't look at it that way, but now
We got
that
a
you mention it,
Sharknado with a chainsaw.
we got that. We got that. Yo, him riding what
Beam,
is it,
yeah.
Beam. Him riding Beam and then posing, the one stop shot where they're just posing. Also, another thing, I saw this online. I did not catch this watching the movie the first time. In the midst of the in the midst of the fight with Reze, there's a moment where I think she does some sort of explosion or he flies through her explosion. The after effect of the cloud is Pochita's
Oh.
face on that explosion. The explosion
Oh,
cloud
snap.
is Pochita's face. I'm gonna see if I
Yeah, you'll
find
have
it
to show me
online so I
that.
can send it to you.
Also,
It's I was like, wow, that's a
there's
crazy
another
find in the midst of all that
there's
visual
another good scene
madness.
that I feel like is getting a lot of love, and I think it should is when he's riding Beam and she just like straight up laughs, like in the middle
Yeah,
of
yeah,
this
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
She's like, "What the hell are you doing, dude?" Because again, our man's a
I
little bit of a
think
dummy,
this
but he made it work. He made the thing work. Him and Beam did the
by
damn thing.
sheer
Also,
stubbornness,
Beam is
bro. He
durable as
makes it
hell.
work. Bro,
He got lit
Beam
up.
is
He
the
got
unsung
punched like
he is
80,000
the
times, and
unsung
he
hero.
still survived. I thought he was going to explode at that
He
point.
is
I
the
thought I was like, yo,
unsung
Beam's
hero.
done.
I, no, yeah, I thought he was done
When she was popping that little
when
slow
she
mo, and
blew him up.
she was basically
Yeah,
pulling
with all
the
the
Michael B.
punches,
Jordan thing that
bro.
was going on TikTok. She was fisticuffing.
Bro, she beat Beam down, and I was like, nah, I think Beam is done. I think Beam is done. That's the one thing I do wish that there were a little bit more of a casualty, that not like from not
hmm
collateral casualties like civilians, like
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
somebody from some public safety should have kind of bit the
Wait, we
dust.
did
It
see
should have
several
been
people
Beam
kick the
because
dust. What are you talking about?
from the public safety.
Yeah, remember when when Beam brought him in for the first time and she tried to like pretend to be a damsel in distress? She killed all of them.
I
Yeah,
don't recall those.
so
What I remember was
when
the
Beam
private
rescued her,
ones.
and then he tried to find public safety or whatever. The guy with the scar
Hmm.
that also can use cone.
Oh yes, how could I
Yeah,
forget that scene?
she
She
and then
did blow up
she brought both
the
heads.
entire
She brought
headquarters.
both heads and dropped them.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Wow,
So yeah, no,
wow.
they
Yeah,
all
yeah,
kicked the
yeah, yeah,
bucket,
yeah.
and they
You're
were all there
right.
was a lot of them that were
Yeah,
pretty
you're right.
strong. Like the two dudes that could like create mold in their body and whatnot, like whatever that power is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
right. Yeah, you're right. You absolutely. Why can't
public
I
safety
forgot? I
lost some
completely forgot
members.
it.
I'll tell you that they lost the roster. They lost the whole roster pretty much.
Yo, No, she took out a whole
Pretty
headquarters.
much, yeah.
That was the whole headquarters she took out. Yeah, that was actually yeah. That was before we got
And it was
all the
funny
madness that
because
we got
like,
within the city.
um, uh, he was meant. Why am I forgetting his name? Ponytail. Aki.
Hockey?
Aki was talking with the Angel Devil, and they were like, "Why would you tell him you'll join when like you're not going to live long enough?" And ironically, they didn't live long enough to even kind of work the other way around.
Yeah, and honestly, speaking of that scene, now that you like refresh my memory on it, the way she took him out is was fucked
Yeah.
up. Like she used the severed head, and then she had like some sort of like clone of herself here. Yeah, she was.
Oh, yeah.
It
She
was
ripped her head off,
absolute
and then her body
madness,
was moving.
bro. It was like, man,
The
man. I'm upset that I even
only
forgot
thing I'm a
about
bit
that
confused
scene.
about is why didn't the Angel Devil do anything? Isn't the Angel Devil supposed to be really short? Why did they? Do they just truly not care to do anything? Or is there like a bigger reason why they didn't really
Um,
participate in that fight?
I feel like there's something that I feel like they're being saved for something else, and the Angel Devil could just be Makima's pawn,
Yeah.
just blindly obeying orders. It could have just been something where they were told just stand
Yeah,
by,
like I'm curious if they were like
just kind of
ordered to
blend
stand by,
in.
or because I know the Angel Devil's like, I wish I could just die. So I'm wondering if it was just literally they just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
care
yeah.
enough to take part in the fight, or if they were ordered to. So I'm curious. But I'll have to read
Yeah, no,
ahead.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. At this point, anything and everything is Makima's doing.
True,
That's what I'm boiling it down to. Any sort of confusion I got, Makima. This story don't make sense,
Magma,
Makima. There's a plot hole here,
Magma,
Makima. Denji doesn't know something,
Magma,
Makima. It didn't work out for him, Makima. The story ended, guess
Magma.
what? Makima.
Everything.
I'm just blaming Makima for everything, bro.
Denji stubs his foot.
But
Makima.
yeah, man. Makima. He ran out of blood. There's no more blood in the world to bring it back to life.
Speaking of not enough
Makima.
blood, Bomb Devil fucked Denji up. He was barely a head in a chess piece at one point.
Honestly.
It also shows how
Yeah, honestly.
adorable Chainsaw Man is.
She cut him in half at
No,
some
she just
point
kept
too, no?
exploding
Like
him. And like the only thing that
yeah,
was like, I
yeah,
guess
she
I don't know if
just
his head and chest have like, I guess because the heart has a little bit more protection, but he was like charred up and like his
probably.
his arms and legs and lower half were all gone. The only thing that was pretty much alive was what protects the
It was
chest
just his
and his
torso, yeah,
most
the
of his
chest,
head.
yeah. The
But
upper
yeah, she just
torso,
kept
yeah.
exploding his head over and over again. Crazy.
I feel he may just have some sort of
That's what I'm
protection
assuming.
when
Like because that's where the
when he
heart
turns
is.
into the chainsaw.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Is a way to protect itself, essentially.
he was
But yeah,
adorable.
that was yikes, yikes. He went through it, bro. He went through it. But yeah, man. Let's rate this movie, man. What are you gonna
You
rate it,
go.
man? I got my rating
I got
locked
mine
in,
locked
but
in. Do we do? I forget. Do you do like out of fives, tens?
yeah, we do out
All
of
right.
fives here. Out of
So,
fives here. I'm gonna go
all
after
right.
you.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. And
You're giving it a five
the
out of
reason why is
five.
obviously no movie's perfect, but like fives exist for a reason, right? And I left this movie with like no
Mm-hmm.
notes in my mind. Like I left it, and there wasn't a single thought of like I really wish they did this or I really wish they did that. That could have made it better. I just left like that was a
Yeah,
banger
yeah, yeah.
movie. And if I leave extremely happy, and I can't even think of a thing of like, oh, they probably should have tweaked this or that. To me, that's a 5 out of 5 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my
No,
rating.
I agree. I agree. And just for context, that is exactly what he texted me while I was watching it after he walked out of his screening. That was a banger movie.
Yep,
Verbatim.
one hundred
That's
percent.
exactly what he said. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4, maybe 5, maybe 5. Actually, no, I'm gonna cement a
Okay,
5 out
all
of
right.
5 on this because just like you, honestly, I've been marinating in this movie for I would say a few days now, the whole
Yeah,
weekend. I have literally zero
yeah.
complaints about
I've
this
done.
movie.
I
It,
really don't have like a
zero.
complaint. Yeah,
Yeah, I really don't. Like the build up was great. Like yeah, it starts slow, but the build up was so amazing, bro. It was so well written, so well structured, and then just the payoff to that build up is just like, how can I be
hmm
mad or upset or whatever, I, I'm being taken on this journey to that betrayal, and then everything that ensued
Yeah.
afterwards, and then to bring it back full circle at the end with her feeling the same. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, I can't. It was just beautiful from
Cinema.
start to finish.
Cinema.
Cinema,
Uh,
absolute
what language did you
cinema.
watch it in?
I actually watched it Japanese sub,
So I
my
plan on
brother.
doing that. But for me, I don't do that in theaters if I can avoid it, just because if I miss something, I can't pause it. I can't rewind it. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Here's the
that's the
thing.
tough
I
part.
thought about that when I booked my ticket, but because you that's something we mentioned with our Infinity Castle
Yeah.
review. We both watched the dub, and this one, the dub showing in my area was much
Mm.
later in the night. I didn't want to go that late. I was like,
Yeah, I saw. So
and then they added one. They added one around like 5 ish, and I was like, I can't make that one.
this is
So
actually perfect because
Japanese
you saw
sub
it
it
in
is.
sub, I saw it in dub, and we both give it a 5 out of 5. Because I think the voice acting,
I
and I'm
mean,
sure it was for sub, because I've watched the first season in sub
oh,
and dub,
absolutely.
and the voice
Hmm.
acting. Let's give it up for the voice acting because both sub and dub kill it in Chainsaw
Bro,
Man.
the voice
Personally,
acting. I rewatched Chainsaw when I first watched Chainsaw Man when it first released was
yeah,
Japanese
same here,
sub, but I rewatched it in
same.
dub, and man, I was sleeping on the. I gotta again, hats off to the voice actors for both the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese cast and the
Hundred
English
percent.
dub cast because they have been stepping their game up over the past decade or so, bro. Like it is
Yeah,
insane how much talent are behind these
yeah. I look
characters
forward to watching it again in
nowadays.
sub, but like, man, the dub cast crazy, crazy good.
The dub
Yeah,
cast is great. Power's voice actor
yeah.
is amazing.
Denji kills
Denji's
it, and
is
Reze
amazing. Every Aki's
absolutely bl- just
bro,
blew it
it's
up.
great.
Absolutely blew it up. Killed that role.
Absolutely. It's absolutely great from start to finish. But yeah, I'm going to certify this
Amen.
movie. This is going into the Nerdy Basement Hall of Fame. We're going to start doing that when we review our movies,
Hmm.
shows from going forward. Chainsaw Man is the first movie to be officially inducted into the Nerdy
Certified
Basement
banger.
Hall of Fame. So, Nerdified certified, it gets our
There we
Nerdified
go.
certified stamp of approval. But yeah, that is going to be a wrap for today's episode of the Nerdy Basement podcast. Don't forget to leave us a like. Let us know your thoughts of the Chainsaw Man movie in the comments. And subscribe for more deep dives into the worlds that you love here at the Nerdy Basement. We'll see you guys on the next video. As always, stay nerdy, my friends.